Hi students, welcome to another video of Smartly Learn. In this video, let's have some quick tips for the lesson Introduction to Trigonometry. So the basic requirement for the trigonometric application is a right-angled triangle. So let's mark a right-angled triangle with say B holding the right angle, and this side vertex I'm marking as C. This angle is particularly marked as theta. So according to trigonometric definition, let's write all the ratios. Sin theta is going to be opposite by hypotenuse. So in this case, it is going to be AB by AC. Next is going to be cos theta. Cos theta is adjacent by hypotenuse, BC by AC. Next is tan theta. Tan theta is sin theta by cos theta. So it is going to be AB by BC. Next comes the inverse versions. So cosecant theta is going to be equal to AC by AB because it is 1 by sin theta. Secant theta is equal to AC by BC. And lastly, cot theta is equal to BC by AC. So you should also know the relation between these sin theta and cosecant theta, cos theta and secant theta, tan theta and cot theta. Next, we will have some basic trigonometric identities. Let's list them. So the first one is sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. The next one is going to be 1 plus tan square theta is equal to secant square theta. And the last one, 1 plus cot square theta is equal to cosecant square theta. Now, from this identities, we can derive two more identities or derivation out of this. So, if sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1, that means 1 minus sin square theta is equal to cos square theta. Alternatively, we can also say 1 minus cos square theta is equal to sin square theta. So from the base identity, we are deriving two more versions. Similarly here, secant square theta minus 1 is equal to tan square theta. And here also we can write this as cosecant square theta minus 1 is equal to cot square theta. Or you can rearrange this as 1 minus cosecant square theta is minus cot square theta, whichever works for you. The alternate here is secant square theta minus tan square theta is equal to 1. The third here is going to be cosecant square theta minus cot square theta is equal to 1. So from one basic identity, we are able to write out two more options. So it's remembering all the 9 might be difficult. So keep the base identity in mind so that at any point in requirement, you can use the other alternative. The next is the derivation of angles, values for standard angles. So let's draw the table to derive the values so that it is easier to remember. Anytime that you're doing a trigonometric table, it is better that you derive the tables first and then use it in your calculation. So let's mark the table. So this is going to be equal to theta 0 degrees. Then this comes the 30 degree, the 45 degree, the 60 degree, and finally the 90 degrees. Now let's write out all the trigonometric ratios for which we are going to write it. So this is sin theta, this is going to be cos theta. Next comes the tan theta, then the cosecant theta, the secant theta, and finally the cot theta. So now sin 0 is going to be equal to 0, sin 30 is going to be equal to 1 by 2, sin 45 is 1 by root 2, sin 60 is root 3 by 2, and sin 90 is 1. Now once you know this particular row, all the other things can be derived from this. So how do you do it? For cos theta, start reversing. This value will be 1. I'm writing from the right side. So the next value will be root 3 by 2. This is middle, so I'll retain it as such. Then this moves to the right side. So 1 by root 2. And finally cos 90 is 0. Now for the tan value, simply divide. 0 divided by 1 is 0. 1 by 2 divided by root 3 by 2 is 1 by root 3. In this case, it will be 1. This will be root 3. And this is undefined. So now cosecant theta simply inverses 1 by 0 is infinity. This value will be 2. This is root 2. This is 2 divided by root 3. And finally 1 by 1 is 1. As for a secant theta, start reversing it. So this value will come here. Then 2 by root 3 will hold it. Here there will be the root 2. This side the 2 will move. And finally the infinity. Cot theta simply inverse the tan theta. So 1 by 0 is infinity. In this case it will be root 3. Here it is 1 again. 1 by root 3. And finally 1 divided by infinity is going to be equal to 0. So from one row you are able to derive the entire table. Anytime you want to substitute the value for an evaluated evaluating expression, please ensure you draw this table in the rough work so that you don't get confused in the examination. This hardly will take 2 minutes of your time, and based on that, if you apply, it will be easier to hold the values. Then next, please remember, in the evaluation sums, there may be cases wherein they will give you cos theta or tan theta and then ask you to generate all the trigonometric ratios. So let's see how that works. If I draw a triangle like this, they probably will end up giving you, this is going to be 4, and say tan theta is going to, or cos theta is 4 by 5. So the statement might be cos theta is equal to 4 by 5. They will ask you all the other trigonometric identities. So using Pythagoras theorem, you can find out the other side. So in this case, it's 5 square minus 4 square, which is 3. So this will lead up to sin theta is equal to 3 by 5. You can generate all the other trigonometric ratios once you know this. So this may be end up to be a possible 2-mark question. Similarly, there may be questions wherein you do evaluation. Say, for example, cos square 45 into tan 30 or tan square 30 plus something, etc. So in all these numericals, it ends up to be 2 or 3 mark depending upon how big the question is. For such question, remember to generate the table in the rough work so that it is just a matter of substituting all those values here and evaluating that particular expression. Now comes the last part of the lesson, which is where the trigonometric proofs are. Many of my students feel very confused or worried about the proof. So here is a quick shortcuts. See, in any expression on the numerator, if you have a denominator where it is say 1 minus sin theta, or for that matter 1 plus sin theta, or 1 minus cos theta, or 1 plus cos theta. So I'm just referring this as plus or minus cos theta. Please do take a conjugate, meaning you will multiply both the numerator and the denominator with the opposite sign. So in this case, 1 minus sin theta was already there in the given expression. Multiply both the numerator and denominator with 1 plus sin theta. So why are we going to do it? Because a minus b into a plus b is a square minus b square, which is 1 square minus sin square theta. 1 is nice, any power you give, it still remains the same. So this gets reduced as 1 minus sin square theta, thereby simplifying this denominator to cos square theta. Remember the identity, 1 minus sin square theta is cos square theta. So this will be the first step that you do anytime you see a denominator where there is going to be either 1 minus sin theta or 1 plus sin theta, 1 plus cos theta or 1 minus cos theta. Now, in any other forms that you see, you don't have such indicators or helps to solve the proof and how to approach it. The basic approach, say for example, there is an expression cos theta plus sin theta minus 1 divided by cos theta plus sin theta plus 1. If this is there in the denominator, look out again for a plus b format. Treat this whole unit as a and this b unit as b. So it is of the form a plus b. You can multiply the denominator with cos theta plus sin theta minus 1 because I'm treating this as a plus b, so this becomes a minus b. You do the same process in the numerator as well. So cos theta plus sin theta minus 1. Then you can do term-wise multiplication in the numerator. The denominator, it will be a plus b the whole square, so which means cos theta plus sin theta the whole squared minus 1 square, so which is 1. Here when you expand, use the formula a plus b the whole square, so which will become cos square theta plus sin square theta, then plus 2 sin theta cos theta minus 1. Remember, cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1. In the next step, you can write that and cancel out the 1 and 1. So the denominator will get reduced to 2 sin theta cos theta. Similarly, in the numerator, you can perform term-wise multiplication, see how much you can simplify, and then use this denominator to reach out to what is going to be in the right side. Now, there are cases wherein the expressions do not have sin thetas and cos thetas. Instead, they have higher up trigonometric values. Say, for example, you have tan theta or 1 minus tan theta or say cot theta. In these cases, it might look very difficult for us to start with. The first tip is convert all tan theta, cosecant theta, secant theta and cos thetas into only sin thetas and cos thetas. So in this case, the numerator will get reduced to sin theta divided by cos theta. The denominator is 1 minus sin theta by cos theta. So what happens? You take an LCM. So this will, denominator will just get modified. I'm retaining the numerator as such. So this is cos theta minus sin theta, the whole thing divided by cos theta. Now this cos theta and cos theta can vanish. So sin theta divided by cos theta minus sin theta. So now that everything is being reduced into sin and cos, then you can look out for an alternative approach as to how to solve it. If sometimes nothing clicks, all you need to do is simply follow the process of numerical valuation or symbol that they have given in the left side. For example, if there was a sum saying this particular expression, say tan theta divided by 1 minus cot theta, plus cot theta divided by 1 minus say tan theta. All you are doing is changing all of these into basic ratios, after which you will take the LCM between these two denominators, do a cross multiplication to the numerator, then add whatever is the expressions that are coming, apply appropriate identities, simplify, and then try to cancel out as much as to the numerator and the denominator to get back to the right side. So keep in mind, if you are not getting any expression in the proof that are in sin and cos theta, transfer it into tan and cot theta to make your life easier. And also it's very easier to look out for the identity, either 1 minus sin square theta or 1 minus cos square theta. So this way you will also reduce everything to the sin and cos. If on the right side the expressions are going to continue to secant, cot or cosecant, etc., you can arrive at a point from the LHS, you arrive and simplify it to the simplest form and keep it aside. Again take the RHS, do the same process, and you will simplify. You will end up to see that they both match. So please don't get worried. The proof is not going to be that difficult, but please ensure that you do all these necessary steps and be careful when you take the LCM and do cross multiplication. Signs are very important. Also, you need to remember the basic algebraic identities. Any of these might be used in the future. So let's look out a quick lookout for all those algebraic identities. The first one obviously is a square minus b square, which we very commonly use, which is a plus b into a minus b. The next very common thing that you probably will end up using in this lesson is a cube plus b cube. There are multiple ways to express this, but you need it in the product form mostly because you need to cut the denominator. So let's write it in that. So it is a plus b into a square minus ab plus b square. This is a formula for a cube plus b cube. So if you have a sine cube plus cos cube, treat that accordingly. Next is going to be the a cube minus b cube. So in this case, it is a minus b into a square plus ab plus b square. So accordingly, you can substitute the value of sine and cos theta if they're going to look at it in this definition. Please ensure that you do take the LCM appropriately and do the proper cross multiplication. Recheck your signs once again so that you arrive at the answer that is required. The one easy thing for you to remember is, if you're doing proofs, if you're doing all the steps right, the human error mistakes will be very less because no numbers, no calculations, etc. So think of it in a positive manner to approach in your board exam. Hopefully it should not be that hard. Work enough sums to get your confidence up and you should be able to breeze through this type of sums. In the next video, we will have some quick tips on applications to trigonometry. See you in the next video. Bye.